Welcome back to Asgard, and welcome to episode 7 of our Inventions modded Minecraft Let's Play series. If you recall, last episode we started getting into soul shards. I did end up turning the last one into zombies, and I've gotten 2 kills on that. Not too crazy. And then skeleton and enderman. I've gotten a few on, but still no tier 1 or anything. It does take a little while. And then we also set up this coke oven multi-block and the blast furnace. I've had them running just a little bit, not too much, because I did decide to switch gears. We were originally going to do some immersive engineering stuff. However, I decided to jump into a mod that I feel like not a lot of people really, I won't say know about, but really have seen like the full potential of, I guess you could say. It's kind of an overlooked mod, and it's honestly one of my very favorite mods, and that is Pneumaticcraft. There's actually some really cool blocks that you can get down the road. It's a little bit more advanced than we're going to get to today, but we will, before too long, especially with EE3 and everything. This pack makes progression pretty quick. But anyway, if you don't know about Pneumaticcraft, basically the idea of the mod is that you're using let's see, you're using compressed air to, okay, we're gonna have to use that. You're using compressed air as your power source, and so instead of, having like a buffer of power, you're gonna have that air, but it's balanced between all your pipelines and your machines and everything, at least at the beginning. And if you get your air pressure too high in a given pipe or machine, it can cause the block to explode. So you kind of have to gauge, or kind of have to keep an eye out for how much air pressure you have at a specific time. But there's ways to do that, and hopefully this episode, when we get our first stuff set up, we're going to go ahead and set up an automatic shutdown so that we won't even have to watch our power. Alright, let me get just one more piece of sand here. Alright, now it's almost done with the glass aspect, so hopefully before too long we'll actually be building up a stockpile of sand. So alright, so I'm gonna need, let's see, 5 pieces of gunpowder, and let's make ourselves some TNT. Now I did try, in a test world, I tried doing compressed iron with tiny TNT, because that's how I've done it like on servers and stuff. However, it didn't make it when I did that, so for whatever reason it just kind of blew up my iron, and that was about it. So we're gonna do it instead with just straight up TNT, because I don't mind about making a hole, because we're gonna be living way over there. So I've started working in there. I've been digging out the area and stuff, but still got a little bit of, oh, I just got a potato, and I actually forgot to mention I have a carrot over there that I got from a zombie. So, but alright, we'll light this up. And there we go. Grab our compressed iron. And see, we got about 2.5 stacks. That's not bad at all. I'll take it. And just for the sake of me running across these this field in the dark, I'm gonna fill this in. But yeah, so that'll get us the compressed iron. Now, like I said, we're not going to want to do that many more times, because if you notice, we lost a half stack of iron from that, which honestly with EE it's not too bad. I'm not going to lose any sleep over that, but you know, hopefully by the end of this episode we'll be getting a 1-to-1 iron to compressed iron ratio, so that'll be good. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to want to make with Pneumaticcraft is going to be, let's go ahead and make our pressure chamber. So we're not going to be able to power it just yet, but we'll get into that in just a second. So we're going to want to make these pressure chamber walls, and we're just going to start with a 3x3 is what we're going to do. So, actually let me grab, if I recall correctly, I'm going to need gold. I could be wrong on that, but I do think I'm going to need some gold here in a second. Okay. And let's just grab ourselves a little bit of glass here. Actually, I'll tell you what, I think I only need like one piece, but... Alright, so we're going to get some pressure chamber walls, and those are just crafted like this. Actually, I'll tell you what, 16 is probably enough. Honestly, I probably made enough, more than enough compressed iron to start with, but anyway. And let me see, where does this lead out to? Whoops. Yeah. Okay. We might... I can't remember if the interface can pull out without being at the bottom, but we'll try it out without it. So we'll just set this up like so. And I know it's going to cover the windows entirely, but oh well. Alright, let's make just a few more of those. Like that. And we'll go ahead and make the top all pressure chamber walls as well. And then we gotta do that one, of course. Looks like we're not gonna have any glass. It's the only thing. And I tend to like having the glass, but oh well. And we're actually gonna break this. Let's see. Yeah, I want that open actually. I'll tell you what. We'll put a piece of glass over in here somewhere just so you guys can see it, you know, if you're interested in seeing inside of it. Now eventually we'll make like a 5x5, and you know there'll be plenty of glass on it so that you can see. But the next thing that we're going to want to make is we'll make the windows, which is just one piece of glass with the compressed iron, and you do get 16 of these. So do that, and then we'll just stick our glass back there. And which you don't have to use any glass, like I said, but I'm just going to put it in there so that you can actually see inside of it, you know. Then we're going to want some of these valves, and we're also going to want an interface. Interfaces are just walls with hoppers, so I think, I know I've got a hopper around here from the last episode. Yep, and a chest for another one, because we're going to want 2 of these interfaces. And you know what? I don't have any iron. That's okay though. Let's see. Oh, there's probably not enough in there. There we go. And get that. And then our interfaces. Now what this interface does is it allows you to input and export from the chamber. And when you set this up, let's see, we will make the input, yeah, we'll just make the input right here. So if it has an I there, that means that's the side that's going to input. So, and then there's going to be a O on the side that's going to be an output. So what we're going to have to do, when you place the block, the input's going to be facing next to you. So in this case, we want it to input from the machine. Whoops. We want it to input from the machine in order to output, you know, outside of the machine. So we're going to set the input facing into us on that. And then we'll fill this back in. And then the last thing that we're going to want, of course, is that valve. Now what the valve does is it allows it to connect to the air pipes. And it has to have at least one valve, but you can have more if you want. Just know that you're going to have at least one on a tank, or on a pressure chamber. So, and we'll put that there. Already having inventory issues. Let's put some of this stuff in here so that it's out of our way. That, and that. Okay. Alright, and then our valve, we're just going to put out here, because for now I'm just going to set up the power, or the air out here. So if you notice, now it is a multi-block. And if we come over here, see this opened up, and the other one over here opened up as well. And that's so the items can go into it. Now, of course, with no air being made, this isn't going to actually do us any good just yet. Let me get our hunger up. But to make air, there's quite a few different choices that you can do initially. The first one and the most common one is the air compressor. Basically, it's just going to burn stuff up, and it's just a furnace with the compressed iron and pressure tubes. And you can use coal, you can use wood, any of that stuff that is burnable will go into the compressor. The advanced air compressor you're not going to be able to make yet. Let me see here. The liquid compressor is actually what we're going to be getting into. This can burn any liquid that it says is hotter than room temperature, but I think it's more like it burns hotter than room temperature, because oil, you can use lava, blazing pyrotheum, you can use biofuel. I believe biofuel works. You can use like rocket fuel and hooch and stuff from Ender.io. Let's see. Probably end up making one of those actually. Let me see. I know there's some more. Yeah, right here, the flux compressor will make air pressure with redstone flux. It's a little bit expensive. You're not going to be able to make this one initially. There's also the electric compressor that uses the IC2 power. Once again, we're not going to be able to make this initially. Even if you have all the rest of the stuff from IC2, you still need these turbine blades, which takes the pressure chamber. So, let's see. And you can also, by the way, you can make RF with air pressure, and IC2's electricity with air pressure. So that's an option as well. But like I said, we're going to make the liquid compressor to get started. Now we do have to make an air compressor to do that. So we'll quickly make one of those, and I will also show you really quickly how that works. You know, if you decide you want to burn coal instead of lava, it's pretty much up to you. So let's get this crafted. That gets us the air compressor. Now let's see here. I'll tell you what, I'll leave that there, and we'll just run our pressure tubes out like this. Okay, and set that there. No, set that there. You want to make sure that this small little hole here connects into a pressure pipe. And I'll show you why in just a second. So, and then what you can do is just, let's go grab ourselves some coal here. And I'm actually going to go ahead and turn the rest of it into coal coke. Well, I guess technically you could use coal coke as well. It would burn longer, but so you can just throw your coal in here and it's going to start cooking. Nothing too crazy. We'll cover all these tabs when we start actually using our liquid compressor. Upgrades we're not going to be able to get into yet. We're going to have to be a little bit further in Pneumaticcraft. before we can do that. But see, it's going to start producing air. Now you're not going to see too much of a change because this thing does require so much air that you know, it kind of makes the system build up a lot of air. But if you notice, our current air is actually increasing. It's just we're not seeing it on the gauge just yet. But now the reason you want to make sure that these holes are connecting and everything, if you were to break this right now, see, it just starts spewing air out and dropping the pressure in the tubes. So but we are going to break this, and I know our air is going to be spraying everywhere because, like I said, I want to make the liquid compressor instead. And the liquid compressor is fairly newer. It hasn't been out a whole... I can't remember exactly when it came out, but I know it was a little while into the mod before liquid compression was available. So if you haven't used it in a while, you may not be too familiar with it. Sadly, the compressed iron does not have an exchange value, so let's see. Okay, we got our leather. Now I think we've got everything for the liquid compressor. And so we'll go set this up. And this one's going to set up the same way, except... okay, it has a hole on both sides. Now I don't think we actually have to fill in that hole on it. So... but now let's see. Let's go ahead and make a bucket and just put some lava into there to get it started, because it is going to take a minute to, you know, fill up and everything with air. But okay, so it's got some lava, and it's slowly going through the lava. And if you click here, you can actually see the available fluids, and there's quite a bit of them. You know, you can use steam, you can use petroleum, hot spring water, primal mana. Essence doesn't give you anything, so don't use that. Lava's here, it gives you 40. I don't know exactly what the L stands for, if I'm being honest. Oh, liters probably. Liters of air. And if you notice, there's fire, water, rocket fuel. Now down the road, that's actually what we're going to get into, is the fire water. So maybe next episode we'll set up a way to automate that. Now the next thing I want to make really quickly is I do want to make an ender tank. Or you know what? We might just be able to get one out of here. I can't remember how much they are. But I'd rather be lazy and just get one this way. Yes. Cool. Just one diamond. That's not bad. And that's white, white, white. Okay. So what we can do is we can set this ender tank up, I think just right here, and turn it to output. Yeah. And say it's filling it up with lava, and it'll keep it filled. So this thing will be able to run constantly. Now eventually we'll probably add some more and everything. But the next thing that I want to do... oh, you know what? Actually oh, shoot. The way I have this set up's probably not ideal for this. So let me break this. Alright. Let me move it over just a little bit. I don't know, you're gonna be spewing out everywhere and all that good stuff. Shoot. Okay. There we go. Alright. Oh, we lost all the lava in there. That's okay. Anyway, the reason we did that is because, you know, with this lava up here, this thing's going to be running constantly, and so eventually it's going to fill up with air and it's going to explode. And that's not what we want. So, there's another thing from Pneumaticcraft that you can craft pretty easily. Let me find it here. No. Yeah, this pressure gauge tube module. You can craft it with just redstone, pressure tube, and then one of these pressure gauges, and that's just gold around compressed iron. So, that's why I wanted to grab that iron before. Wait a second. Oh, oops. Okay. And let's get this. And then we just need... Oh wait, is it redstone? Yeah, it's redstone. That's okay. Let me go grab some really quickly. And yeah, we'll just grab all of that. Okay, we've got some more iron there. Oh, sorry. And we'll put our redstone in there, our pressure tube, and then our pressure gauge, and that gets us this tube module. Now what this does is this actually will allow us to gauge the pressure that's in there at a glance. So we're going to set it right here. And so we can see how much pressure is in there, but this thing will also emit a redstone signal based on how much pressure is in there. So it's going to emit 1 redstone power for every half of a bar that's on here. So right now it should be, yeah, it's emitting a redstone signal of 2 because it has, you know, 1 bar of pressure and a little bit extra. But what we can do is we can run this redstone over, and then let me think, probably like this. Yeah. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Yeah, so 9 is kind of, initially, that's going to be your go-to number that you want to get with this. Because, you know, once it hits the 5, it's going to be critical. So you want somewhere around 4.5 bars. So that would be 9 redstone. Like right now, it's emitting a 3, so it's making it to right here. And then, of course, once it gets to 4.5, it's going to be running to right here. So it would be touching this, and we're going to set this redstone behavior to run with low signal. So once it gets a full signal right here, it's going to shut off. And that's one thing that's really a whole lot nicer about the liquid compressor over just the standard compressor, is because the standard compressor, you throw in, say, a cold block, and then it hits that 4.5 mark, it's going to keep running until that cold block is burnt up. However, with liquid, and this is true with most every mod, liquid, it's going to shut off as soon as, you know, it's told to shut off. It's not going to keep burning what it has and waste all that, or in this case, take a chance on blowing up. So that's why I do suggest, if you can, use the liquid compressor, but this method will also work with just the standard compressor. And unless you're burning, like, I don't know, like blocks of coal, or maybe, can you do blocks of creosote? Ugh, never even tried, honestly. No, okay. So, or is it creosote block? No, you can't. Okay. So unless you're burning like blocks of coal, you should still be fine with the compressor. But since we have the lava and everything, I'm just going to use this. Plus, like I said, I like it more. There's also quite a few tabs here. Of course, we covered that one, and then the available fuels. Upgrades we'll get into later. But just know that there's volume, security, and speed. And security doesn't, it's not going to keep other players from accessing it, but what it's going to do is it's going to put a safety valve. And what that does is if it builds up so much air pressure that it's at a dangerous level, it's just going to start spewing that air out. However, with this method, you're not just going to keep wasting lava to spew air into the, you know, into the air. So it's definitely quite a bit better. You've got information here that just tells you about the machine. You have where you can see the current pressure and air and volume, everything. and what it's producing. Like this is producing 10 milliliters per tick. And then if there's any problems, you can check them right here, which is kind of nice. But, oh, also, if I was to, say, add a bunch of air pipes and another pressure chamber here, you're going to see this pressure drop off drastically. But that's just because it's compensating for the added space that there is, and so the air pressure is going to drop across the, across the whole setup and everything. So the next thing that I want to cover really, really quick is, let's see, this omnidirectional hopper. Basically, it's like the vanilla hoppers, but it's like 100 times better, especially for the Pneumaticcraft stuff. Let's see. I know I have some wood. Yeah. No, not pistons. Okay. Let's get 8. We can't do the... No. Okay. Alright. And these you just make with compressed iron instead of standard iron. So we'll make a couple of them. And... of course, I guess technically we could use pipes too. But I want to show you these, just so you know. If you stick the omnidirectional hopper down, it's going to face the direction that it's going. But one really nice thing, I don't have any hopper around here. Let me craft one really quick so I can show you like the comparison here, because it is just really, really nice. Okay. So, for example, if you have like a standard hopper here, let's say, and you want to click on that interface there, you're not going to be able to, because even if you aim here on the edge, you're still going to access the hopper, even though there's no hopper there. And you want to be able to access that because it does have a GUI that you can open up and set the filter and everything, and set what is allowed to be pulled in or pulled out of this machine. But with the omnidirectional hopper, you can actually do that just fine. It cuts off basically like right in there. So it doesn't take up the full block space, which is really, really, really nice, especially for this, because we'll be changing up the item filter quite a bit. So, but like I said, you can also use pipes if you want to. It really doesn't matter. So we're going to set a chest here, and we're going to set this up. Well, shoot. Let's see. I think it'll still output to the bottom. There's a way to set it. Push slot to filter. Let me see here. Whoops. There we go. So we're going to set it to down, so it's going to filter into this chest. And then you can also set up, of course there's the status. So right now it'll transfer 2.5 items per second. You can set it to run on redstone. You can do upgrades for it that increase the speed. But you can also set a mode here so that it doesn't fully empty out the thing. So you can keep like a filter in here and only allow, these items out and stuff. But you can also do that with this item filter. So we're not going to use it for our pressure chamber. So if you notice, we have enough pressure in here so we can get started with making some stuff from the mod. So the first thing I'm going to show you, even though we don't necessarily need it right this second, is if you want to make compressed iron, you can throw the iron in here. It's going to open up, it's going to shut that, and then open up the other side here. And if you notice, it just immediately gets pulled into this hopper because we don't have a filter set. Should drop. Drop, drop, drop. No. I have this set up wrong, don't I? Okay. Let me actually change this. I know what I did wrong. Okay, set the hopper to there, and then rotate it onto there. But if you notice, it just got pulled directly out, and that's not really what we want to have happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this up so that it can only... Whoops. There we go. And like I said, you can use the filter in this too and just set like only these items are allowed through. And so for example, if I put, say, if I put compressed iron in here, and I threw this in the hopper, it's not going to go through. Actually, I think if I just put one of them in here, yeah, see, it's not going to go through, because as soon as you put an item into this, it's going to be, that's going to be the whitelist for it. But you can also use this hopper if you want to, so we'll just set this up with compressed iron, and then we'll throw our iron in there, and now if you notice, it's gonna be dumped into that. Oh, it pulled it out. Why did it pull it out? Okay. Yeah, we probably shouldn't actually use that. Okay. Filter. Items. Okay. And we're just going to say only compressed iron can come through that. Okay. We'll throw iron in there. Okay. Now I should have it set up right. Why is it pulling that in? I don't know why it's doing that, actually. Oh, it already compressed it. Okay, it just did it really, really quickly. Alright. And let me actually turn that mode off. So that's how you're going to make compressed iron with, you know, using the compressor, and you are going to get a 1-to-1 ratio with that. So that's actually really, really nice. The next thing that we're going to want to cover with Pneumaticcraft is we're going to start making these plastics in order to really move on. Now the way you're going to make plastic is you can use these seeds, but they kind of don't exist the same way that they used to. You know, they'd just be all over the world. You'd go to the ocean, there'd be squid plant seeds everywhere, and I don't know, they just spread and caused the whole world to be filled with the plants. Now in some ways I do actually miss them because it just made life a whole lot easier. But now you're going to have to get one of these plastic mixers in order to do it. So that's what we're going to want to get next, is the plastic mixer. Let me see. Let me just look it up actually. Plastic mixer. Okay. So to make this, you're just going to need some compressed iron and then some glass. So let's get that really, really, really quickly. And that gets us our plastic mixer. Now we'll just hook this up. I don't want it there because I don't want the redstone interfering with it. So we'll just put it right here for now. Oh, you know what? This doesn't actually require air. Okay. I forgot about that. So we'll set this down right here then. And get a bucket here. And if you notice, it does require heat. You can place a block that generates heat next to this machine. And you know what we could do if I didn't have this on top of it? Okay. We'll actually move this because I don't really want to put lava down right here. Yeah, let's set this up outside actually. I think that would just be safer all around. And yeah, I don't really relish the idea of burning the house down. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? go down here, even though it's just a big noisy mess. And we'll set it up right here. And this should start heating up. Why did it just make obsidian? I'm actually not sure why it did that. Okay, give me just a second. I'm going to cut camera and I'll be back in just a second. Okay, welcome back. Yeah, it seems to turn it to obsidian, so I think that's honestly changed since the last time that I used it. It has been a little bit, because generally packs don't include this, this mod, so... but I think we're going to use this vortex tube. And we can craft that just like so. And then if we put this, let's put it... Yeah, we'll just put it right here. And see, this side's heating and this side is cooling. So, dependent on where you put the... Yeah, we'll just leave it like that. And then we can set up our plastic mixer right here, and this will start heating up slowly. It's at 29 degrees Celsius. So the hull is slowly heating up. Now, but in order to actually make the plastic, it's going to take a bit more than that. Let's see, this should still be... I know that's filling up with air. But this should still be producing positive. We'll keep an eye on it. So I've never really had to use this block that much. So I wonder if... Can I... No, that's not going to work. Okay. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. It's probably just filling up with air and everything. It does take a 20 bar worth of pressure though at max. So, I don't know. Anyway, of course before long we'll be able to make these speed upgrades. Lubricant, sugar, and lapis to make our machines run faster. Okay, well anyway, to even use that, we're going to have to make a thermo-pneumatic processing plant. Just redstone glass and compressed iron. So let's set that up really quick. And the way this works is it's going to take and actually make our liquid plastic. Now in order to do that, it's a bit of a process actually. You're going to have to get like, let me see, you're going to have to make quite a few different liquids to move up to the LLG, I believe it's called. But let's say for example we wanted to make just say white plastic or gray plastic. We're going to have to get this liquid plastic, which we can get that from running LPG in here with coal. And LPG, we're going to get that by taking and sending gasoline through there. And then to get gasoline, we're going to have to build a refinery to take oil and turn it into gasoline. So, or kerosene into gasoline. And kerosene is diesel. So, it takes a bit of work to actually get the plastic. Now see, all this has been added. It didn't used to take all of that since the last time that I played. So it's going to be fun to get into all that. But in order to actually really progress, to make our assembly tables and stuff like that, we are going to need at least a bit of plastic to get started with. So, and I've noticed there's really no way to get these seeds that I can see. So we're going to have to be using the oil method. which is fairly new. So we're just going to set this processing plant thing right up here, I guess. And I know I'm going to have wires running across. Actually, let me set this up like this. Okay. And we'll just... Oh, let me make some more tubes here. And... like that. I know it's going to drain a bit of our air pressure, you know, with only this liquid compressor running. So, between this episode and next, I'll probably make another liquid compressor. Right now, we're just getting all the basics set up, and then next episode, we'll hopefully be implementing all of them, because there's quite a bit we're going to have to get together. The other thing that we're going to need is this refinery. It takes a diamond, a couple pieces of glass, and this compressed iron. So, oops. There's a whole lot more set up now than there used to be, but I assure you it's going to be worth it, because once we get all this stuff set up, we're pretty well home free after that point, as far as jumping into the mod, because the plastics are the main thing. Alright. So we'll set up our refinery. I think we'll just set it up right here. Okay, this actually doesn't... Okay. Pump oil in the refinery. Stacked on top of each other, ranging from 2 to 4 refineries. Oh, okay, cool. So let's go get another refinery, I guess. And we're going to need another vortex tube in order to get that heat going. So I'll have to make a few more of the compressors in order to really get that going. Now there's other stuff that you could be making, but most of it is going to require plastic. Okay, yeah, printed circuit boards. Okay. Yeah. Well, we're going to go ahead and set this up. Now, we could make this, but okay, that's pretty expensive, actually. We'll need the turbine rotors, gold and redstone. That's not too bad. However, the gray plastic is kind of what cuts us off right now. Let's see, and I know drones are going to require that stuff. Most everything, I believe, is going to require plastic at this point. Yeah. Okay. To get lubricants... Yeah, we're going to have to process that too. Okay, so let's get another vortex tube. And sorry this is taking a little bit to set up. They've changed a lot of things, actually, in this. A lot more than I had thought. So, alright. And, oh yeah, let's get our refinery. We're going to need some glass. And we'll go with 2 for right now, because I think that should be sufficient. Okay. And we will set this up. I like that again. And it is going to drain the system. Yeah, it's pretty much dead now. Okay. Let's see what the problems are. Apply more heat and pump oil in. So we're going to have to try to find some oil. I think between this episode and next, I'm going to get some oil. So hopefully next episode we can actually make our first plastic. And I'm also going to set up another compressor really quickly. Let's see. So we can set it up pretty easily by just, oops, by just running this back. Now we will, later on, we'll make a better system for this, probably using like the wireless redstone or something, and send a specific signal count. I've done that in the past. It's just for right now, for just to make it easier on us. I'm just kind of doing this system instead. So let's see. I want another liquid compressor. We're going to need a couple of those. Okay. And that. And then what? A couple pieces of leather. Alright. And we'll get that crafted. Now, let me see, do we have fluid conduits right now? I don't think we ever made any, did we? Yeah, we did. Okay, where are they? Did I miss them? Yes, okay. So we're going to use some fluid conduits to run the lava over. We're going to set this one up to run on low signal, and then we can just run our conduits over. Yeah, I don't have enough. Damn it. Okay. Let's see, what was it? Just quite clear glass. And the chisel. I need one more piece of glass here really quick. But basically with the way we have this set up, it'll toggle both of them off when it gets hot, and we won't have to, you know, watch that at all. And conduit binder. Okay. And just put that on there. And there we go. So now this one should be running as well, and hopefully we'll come out positive on air now. Let's see. We can check it right here. Yeah, it says we're still losing right now. But I'm hoping that's just because this area is filling up with air. Or I mean these vortex tubes. So I'm going to give it some time between this episode and next, and if I need to, I'll add some more liquid compressors on it. Because to make the advanced ones, we're going to need a bit more stuff as far as like plastic and whatnot goes. So I'm basically just going to try to get this system set up so that it's stable, and then hopefully get a hold of some oil, and that way next episode we can start actually making plastic and getting some of the good stuff from yeah, you know, from the mod and everything. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I apologize we didn't get anything like that you're gonna immediately use, but it's just kind of Pneumaticcraft basics, and I'm hoping next episode maybe, no, we'll need printed circuit boards and all that, so maybe we'll start getting into the assembly IO stuff and etching acid and all of that. Now if you're wanting to see some immersive engineering stuff, just let me know down in the comments, and you know, if people want to see that over Pneumaticcraft right now, I can always switch it, you know, take turns switch it up between the two. So but I did kind of want to get this started because like I said, there's some really cool stuff that we're going to be able to do. With the pneumatic helmet is really nice. The elevators, the pneumatic doors, the drones are really cool. The sentry turrets are really neat. But yeah, so hopefully we'll get into all that before too long, and hopefully you guys will enjoy this mod quite a bit. So, but anyway, oh, by the way, that's what happens when you don't watch your machines. I forgot to actually hook that air in. Oh man, well that was a good demonstration of what happens when you don't plug up your machines or don't monitor the amount of air in there. So that was a mega derp on my part. But anyway, I'm happy to be leaving you guys with that that ending note right there. But yeah, if you enjoyed the episode, please comment, like, subscribe, share it with your friends. It's very much appreciated. And yeah, next episode we'll be getting into it a bit more, and hopefully get a bit more done with it. And I think you guys will enjoy the mod once we get it going and everything. So, but anyway, until next episode, take care, and I will see you then.